Hey there! All right, you guys, summertime. We're doing lots of things on the grill, including pizza. This is one of my favorite things to make in the summertime. Well, anytime the weather's decent enough to use the grill. And it all starts with store-bought pizza dough. You could totally make homemade, that'd be great, but I need to cut corners where I can. And I think that, honestly, it's a really good product. This is Trader Joe's plain pizza dough in a bag. I've already unfolded it because I'm letting it do its thing. It needs to sit out on the counter for about 30 minutes before you work with it so that it warms up, and then you can then work it, you know, how you want it. And so I will take my dough and I'm going to divide it into 4 pieces here in just a second. But this is so easy, and I've got a few tricks that I have learned through trial and error. I have burned many a pizza crusts on the grill, but I feel like I've kind of gotten it figured out. So hopefully my mistakes can be your wins, and you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. So I'm going to show you a few of those tricks here in just a sec. But again, toppings can be endless, but it really has to do with the things you do on the grill, temperature, and I will get it on the grill. I will lightly get it to start cooking, flip it, lightly get it to start cooking, pull it off. That's the magic right there. That's the little thing that will make your pizza turn out well. And then I bring it back in the house. If you had a big enough area out by your grill, you could top it then. But then I do all my toppings, and then I put it back on the grill, and then close the lid and let it do its thing. But you kind of got to get a pre-bake on it before you top it. That will be the thing. And then I also use my little parchment sheets. So I'll show you what I do with those. But I basically just take this and I prep the dough on there, and then I take it and I just like slap it down and then peel this off really fast. And that way there's no, like, I don't know, sometimes it gets sticky. It just seems to really flow, and I'll show you how that looks in just a sec as well. So yummy pizzas on the grill. Let's go. All right, my dough has been resting for 30 minutes according to the packages. If you make your dough fresh, just do what you would normally do with your dough before you want to shape it, because the gluten needs a chance to kind of relax, and then you can press it out. So I divided my dough into 4 pieces. We're going to do 4 pizzas, 4 people in my family. Makes it nice and easy. So you can see I can start squishing it, and it'll actually stay. It pulls back just a touch. So if you want to zoom in here, I'll start just kind of using my hands. These are not perfectly shaped pizzas, which is kind of fun. So I'll take my parchment, pop that down on here, and then I just start doing this, you guys. Pulling, stretching, and then I will flip it, work it some more. And really, it's just a hand-shaped pizza. And you can feel where it's thicker. So that's where I will like pull it and work it a little bit more. And when I pull it up, I can see, can you see through the light? See where it's a little thinner in the center? So I know where I need to work it. So the edges are a little bit not quite ready to chill out with me. So just, I'm patient. And sometimes what I'll do is set this one to the side, and then I will go back to the next one, and then I'll come back, because that's sat for, you know, a couple minutes while I shape the rest of these and work it. So you just have to be a little bit forgiving, but they're not perfectly shaped pizzas or perfectly even pizzas, which is fine for me because they taste so good. So I'm gonna get these all pulled out, shaped out, pressed out, whatever you wanna call it, and then I will meet you at the grill and show you what comes next. Hi. Tucker's in the shot. He wants out. Okay, the grill has been preheating. It's hot because we stood here for a little while and chatted with our neighbor. But I turned it all the way down low. So the idea with it is that you want to get the grill nice and hot and then turn it down before you put your pizza doughs on the oven. You can look down here, see what I've done. The next thing, you gotta get a little olive oil on there. And then I highly recommend, I like this, it's a silicone brush. No little hairs left behind, but you want to make sure you get these guys coated, and I'll just do 2, and then I'll come back and do the 2 more that are underneath. The best part about parchment as well is that parchment does not stick. So I can stack these and they're gonna come apart fine and not be sticking to each other. So I forgot my pizza flipper, so as soon as my camera guy gets done filming this, he needs to run in and get the flipper, okay? Okay, so here we go. Peel it off, and I kind of go like this with my hand nice and arched, and I'm gonna go like that. And then gently peel it off, and this will go quick. So we'll do 2 and then have my handy cameraman go get my flipper. 2 down, 2 to go. I'll see you in a sec. Pizzas are on the grill. This has been about 2 minutes tops. And then you want to also drizzle a little olive oil and get this side brushed so it doesn't stick. I got a hole in this guy, but you know what? It's real rustic. It'll work. You just work with it. So maybe I'll put a little piece of tin foil or something underneath that when I go to make it. And for some reason, this dough right here got really thin in the middle and thicker on the edge. But again, you just work with it. This one was perfect. Not sure why. But these will cook up really fast, as you can see here in just a sec. So look how quickly that guy came together. See those pretty grill marks? But I have my grill all the way down low. Because you don't want to get them overcooked, because you're going to come back once you top them, and then you will, I got to put it on a little longer, but this one's so thin I'm going to flip him. Do you like how I talk about my pizza dough as if they're like people? Okay. The idea is you want to just be able to kind of par cook these, which is like partially cook. You don't want to cook them all the way through. You get them just started, and then you take them off the grill, because what I'm going to do is go inside, top them, bring them back out, and finish them on the grill, close the lid, and then everything will get all melty and ooey gooey and crispy, and hopefully my bottoms will not be burned. So just get so it kind of gets a little bit of a skin to it, and I'm just going to stack them. Oh my gosh, they already smell so good. Just going to stack them right here. Okay, I'm just finishing topping up my pizzas. Remember that episode where I made homemade basil pesto? Here it is, guys, from the freezer. A live example of how I use it. Yum. Scott can't have nuts, so I make my own pesto. It's super easy. Watch the video, go look in my log, you can find it. But anyways, I'm just dotting a few of them with pesto. And then over here, I did fine shaved onions, because I love onion. See how paper thin they are? I did that on my fun little, Scott will back up. I'm gonna go over to the dish pile. Mandolin. This is awesome. These are like 20 bucks or something. I use this all the time. It's very sharp. We can both attest to that, right, honey? Okay, so I've got the pizzas ready to go. I'm just gonna I do my pepperoni on top of the cheese, and then I'll just finish with a little bit more cheese. This is a mixed Mexican cheddar because I ran out of my mozzarella, but just a little sprinkle. And then these are gonna go back on the grill. I'm also gonna hit them with just a touch of parm, not a lot. This is the pizza with the hole, but all I did was I left the hole open. I didn't put any sauce there, and then I'll just cut around that, because again, they're real rustic, so no need to be perfect with this. A little bit more cheese, because cheese is life. Sorry for you dairy-free people. It's my favorite. Okay, to the grill we go. So my grill is super hot. I close the lid to keep it hot, because what happens in a pizza oven, it's like 700, 800, 900, 1,000 degrees. Some of them I've heard, maybe not that hot, but they're hot. So I close this. Now I will open it. A lot of that heat will disperse. I think with this guy, I don't want to mess with him. I'm just going to leave him on the tin foil because of that hole. But the rest of these, you guys, I'm just going to get them back on here. And this is where you have to do a little bit of babysitting. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm closing the lid. Hang out. I won't have you hang out with me, but I'd say I check the bottoms of those things every 2 minutes, probably at the beginning, maybe like 2 minutes, and like after that every 30 seconds, because it goes real fast. But you do want everything to get nice and melted, so you got to keep your lid down. That's the trick. But don't let it go too long. So if you're unsure, check it, close the lid, check it, close the lid. You get the idea. Okay, it's been about 2 minutes. Time to check. Ooh, nice and, oh, this guy back here is bubbly. So what I do is kind of do this. The camera stand there. So nice grill marks, but not burned by any means. And if you have a hot spot, don't be scared to move your pieces around. I'm gonna let these go for about 30 more seconds. It's a little hotter in this back corner for some reason in my grill, so I'm gonna switch those guys around. This guy looks good still too. Poor little Mr. Broken Hole. He's in the back, sadly on some foil, because his cheese is all bubbly, melting and hanging down. It'd be a mess. So 30 more seconds, they'll be ready. It's time. Nice and bubbly, everything's melted. Just going to carefully, this is the part where you don't want to mess up. Very gentle. these guys on your cookie sheet. This dude's gonna hang out a little longer because he's kind of sad. But get the idea. Time to eat. Pieces on the grill, super good. Let's just do a little showcase right here. I don't think you really need to see me cut them, but yeah, oh my gosh, they smell so good. You guys, this whole meal takes, with the prep time, you gotta like let your pizza dough rest or whatever, but besides that, the whole thing start to finish probably is 10 minutes. I'm not kidding, especially if you store-bought like shredded cheese and pepperoni and all that kind of stuff, which I did. So I just had it in pretty bowls because I was at the end of the packaging. You get the idea. Pizza on the grill. Remember all my little tricks. Turn the oven hot before you put it on, then turn it down low when you put them on and flip them. Just control your heat. Keep it on the low side to be safe initially. But have fun with it and do all the fun toppings. Tell me your favorite pizza. I'd love to see it. Delight of the bite. Subscribe, share, tell your friends. Thanks for watching.